get from Nouns too. A lot of times we'll be like, I want to see this from them, and they just come up shy. I want to see Nouns deliver. I want to see them do what they can do best. And that is give us a show on Mirage. They're always capable of it. Will they be able to bring it here as we hop into Mirage? We'll find out right now. As we end. Now we are on Mirage. As Nouns start on the T side, Nate. Pistol round would go a long way to boosting some confidence.
They did go 0 for 2 on pistol rounds in the last map. They lost the second one in a heartbreaking fashion, that 1 versus 3 for malbs. We'll have to see if they can finally get one on the board on their own map pick. They are on the attacking side. They do aggressively get middle control as well, looking very comfortable on their own map. Nouns quickly getting control, but M80 more than happy to cede it to their adversaries. It is going to be an A split. Very similar to map prior towards Anubis. We'll have to see if they can have some success this time around. Carson starts things off right. Wolfy dispatched towards CT. It's now Reck here alone, and with the full force of Nouns pushing in his direction, he's going to wait for the squad to rotate. Markey going to put that bomb to dirt. This is going to be a rather chaotic retake. Swisher has a kit and a smoke, and it's a 4 versus 5 for the retaking defenders.
There goes Markey. Nice headshot from Reck. CJ backing into jungle. bwills peeking out of Palace. Probably better to save him for later, but he's going to peek out, catch off one. They're still swinging around. Smoke on the bomb. Defuse coming in. Ninja time! There we are. Swisher pulls it off. Of course it's Swish. And he punishes CJ to boot. M80 escape with a round victory. But it is a bomb plant for Nouns, and a very sketchy round for the M80 squad. Still, how many times on Anubis did we see crazy ways to victory for M80? And for Nouns, just watching them have victory slip through their fingers like a handful of sand.
You know when a 4 versus 5 retake is going to be chaotic? And M80 banking on that exact scenario, just go for the ninja. It worked out so well for Swisher. That is the second pistol round stolen away by the likes of M80. We saw it in the second half of Anubis. 1 versus 3 from malbs. Now it's the ninja from Swisher. 2 stars really coming in big, in indirect ways. bwills, though, brought out for Nouns. They are not dissuaded. They got the bomb plant. They got very close to crossing the line in round number 1, and they want to get across the line here and now in round number 2. There's not much utility remaining for either side either. 2 smokes made that just 1 for Nouns, along with a pair of flashes, and 2 smokes, and that's all for the likes of M80. Aggression middle, though, not really properly watched for. No flashes to concert that play. That catches both Cynic and Carson off guard. Markey, bwills, CJ to pick up the pieces. bwills and a scout between them. There's still the full force of the M80 defense ready to greet them.
No inroads for Nouns to be had, and minimal utility to try and create anything now. Scout shot not connecting. Reck, however, will go force the issue. Takes a tag and does get 1, but is traded back immediately by bwills. Swisher wins the fight onto CJ out mid. Messy spray from Wolfy, and down goes malbs as well. bwills on for an ace here. And low HP on Swisher. Manx might have to do it all. Flash goes high. That's it. bwills utility. He gets a lineup. But he only ends with 4. Still, bomb plant plus all of that damage. Very successful round for bwills. That's going to be big for Nouns moving forward. They could even force again if they want to. And knowing how Nouns like to be aggressive, I would not be surprised if they do go all in. And yep, there it goes. bwills, utility.
I think we saw a buy.
Attrition has fully begun.
Yeah, we saw a buy very similar to this on map 1 as well. I think it was round 3 of the defense for Nouns, where they got close but didn't get across the line, so they went ahead and reinvested again. I think it was Cynic who saved for the buying an M4 and trying to work around that. It didn't work out then. It could definitely work out on a more comfortable map such as Mirage. The spy is also far more convincing than that one they had in the map prior. It's 4 bwills, an AK. Pretty good utility on bwills. Everybody else is very much lacking. But it's an MP9 on Minx. It is definitely doable. Minx down below the window will try to Caused some deaths by 1,000 cuts, but it's an awkward situation. He does eventually find one. Swisher for a second, but Cynic and Marky answer in kind. Wolfy on Catwalk finally chimes in. The cavalry has arrived for the defense. Can they prevent the bomb plant? That's the most important question. Cynic towards the bench sends a flurry of bullets downrange, catches Wolfy, bringing us back to a tied ballgame. Malb sneaking out, though, stops the bomb plant and finds the second to boot. bwills and Cynic both silenced. No bomb plant means this is certainly going to be a save going into round number 4 for Nouns.
Yeah, Nouns finally have to save. M80 starting to stabilize. It's malbs to join the party. Mank's actually at the top of the scoreboard for M80. So a good start for the in-game leader on the defense. And Swisher, of course, doing his thing. Reck, of course, as well. Now, for M80, it's about minimizing their casualties here against the Deagles. It's a full deco from Nouns. A couple upgraded vests and a smoke for utility. Wolfy hits the cat jump, and he'll see nothing there. It's a default for Nouns on the Deagles, which is a bit interesting. They're just looking for picks, they're looking for headshots, they're looking for long-range duels, which they can get the one shot, fall away, inspect the Deagle, see if it rolls around, and Manx is going to bail out of apps, but he does get the contact, does get the damage. Still, though, no real aim or purpose for Nouns in this round. Ooh, that nade's going to do a little bit more, but it goes too far deep. Doesn't really take Carson out. It could have, but too far up.
Could have. Doesn't quite. Instead, it's the rifles to do the heavy lifting. Wolfy, Reck, now Mix as well, chiming in. Everybody on M80, relatively even on kills. An encouraging start for this defense as they are looking to put this series to bed. Carson and Cynic, the last two alive, trying to bait in a rifle into an unfavorable duel, but that's a tall order. Carson and Cynic, as we mentioned, it was full Deags. Still retain those weapons. Surely they find nothing. Banks another off angle towards the van, a different one this time around, steps up, finds the kill, drops the bomb, and leaves Cynic with 30 seconds and a dream to do something.
A dream? It's more like a nightmare right now. 1v5, no armor, a smoke. In no man's land, malbs puts him down. 4-0 start for M80. And finally the guns can come out for Nouns. The op in Cynic's hands, utility, AKs across the board. They need to be able to build off of this round. They need to be able to get something going here. That goose egg has to be hatched. They need to get something on the board. What's M80's plan going to be?
Not sure. They don't have an op. Challenge the likes of Carson. Not Carson, excuse me, Cynic. They do have aggression. And they're going to go for it. We mentioned it was probably a likely play early on in this second map, and it is the case now. malbs and Reck walking through ramp. They might just greet bwills here. He's walking back out of the apartments, or out of palace, excuse me. Timing's everything there. bwills, a nice angle, but he can't outright get the kill. Instead, it's malbs to take a lot of damage, but win the duel in the end. 5 versus 4 secured off that early push into the periphery. Nouns, how do they adjust? They adjust quickly. Towards B is the call. M80, though, wise to this possibility, already rotating a second player in and a third just in case to hold the window.
There's another one for Swisher out towards B. Cynic tagged down, and Swisher picks up a pair before he falls. Cynic goes down to the ground. Carson and CJ now last two standing. The cat fight goes his way. Bomb will be planted. There's a cat plant, but look who's up on catwalk. It's Wolfy. Does he get peeked? He does, and CJ destroys him. Reck, the last man standing in a 1v2, making his long rotation through apartments. He's expected now. He might have been heard. I think he definitely has been heard, actually, by CJ up on cat. Wait, never mind. Nobody's watching for this. He can slip on through. Carson's watching Market and Cat now. Where's CJ? Carson's going to miss him peeking through window. Reck out on the balcony, clearing all the angles. Drops down. Surely he's heard. Carson knows now. Reck drops a smoke. The in-game leader for Nouns will secure the round. They do get their first on the board. That was necessary for Nouns. And the money's not great for M80 either. There will not be... Wolfy can get an op. He can get an op and vest. Not really much utility, but we'll see what he can do now with a big green gun. Nouns. A necessary round, but it did come with a bit of a shaky start.
Shaky start, but a confident finish. It was a 2 versus 4 or 2 versus 5 for Carson and CJ, and yet they both pull it off. They both shine when needed. That is a big confidence booster, despite the lackluster beginning. Full 5 AKs, no op this time around for Nouns to challenge the likes of Wolfy, but Nouns, they can taste this reset. It is a very distinct possibility now. Even good damage, 3 kills, would be enough to hamstring this CT economy. That would give them a very real way back into this second map. Awkward duels, awkward dances towards middle. Damage done sparingly towards malbs. Top of Wolfy is in connector, playing around the smoke. He's not going to be gifted any duels. Instead, they'll be gifted to Swisher. He finds one. Malb swings off contact, finding a second. Good flash from the IGL of Manx. There's another 2-man advantage now for the defense.
Make it 3. Malb shuts down Marky. CJ and bwills this time the last 2 standing. Wolfy gets the wall bang, but he can't get the kill. Malb will clean it up. Swisher boosted. Wolfy followed. Easily recoverable position. Malbs will get the last. The op will be picked up by Reck. AK's in the hands of 2. And M80 back on the board in the win column. Nouns, no bomb plant. They could eke out a bye. Be a hyper-aggressive play if they want to go for a full investment. They don't. Nouns are going to play it more conservative here. It's time for the deco. Hero rifle on Carson. So, not fully conservative. They still want to have some sort of investment here. A bomb plant necessary for Nouns, and we'll see if they're going to be able to manage that. B rush on the cards. Up into apps goes Swisher, and down he goes. Carson, 1 HP. Molotov down. Nade will trade. That Molly's just going to cause the rotation back, and look at the over-rotation from M80. Look where Nouns are walking out. They're waltzing into a wide-open A site. Wolfy's too far to even see anything.
Oh, he gets caught with the nade out. He wasn't expecting that. Wolfy will drop the compatriot and cynic, but that player's still in a power position towards window. bwills here with a rifle in hand, just making some space, buying some time, and holding down those quick rotations. At least just Wolfy to defend the side proper. Reck will come through connector. He will do some dirty work dropping bwills. Wolfy with the op will catch 1 ramp as well. What was a very scary round for M80 appears to have been abated. Last alive is CJ. He'll find 1. Wolfy, though, the hero of the round with the op, will trade. 6-1 for M80. The issue is, a round like that does not instill confidence, and it does not help to build that CT economy.
No, it doesn't. That's one thing Nouns have been able to do consistently, is get some kills, but they haven't been able to translate that into winning rounds. And the thing is, you can end a game with more kills than the other team, but if you don't win more rounds than the other team, you're not going to win the match. It doesn't make a difference at the end of the day if you're getting more kills or not. Nouns need to convert these into round victories. They need to be able to get something on the board in a positive direction. M80 kind of doing the same they were doing on Anubis, Nate, just able to grab round victories, whether clean, messy, however, they're able to win it. Nice pick for Cynic. He's going to charge on out here, sitting on Tetris. Wolfy rotating in. He's going to go for an aggressive peek as an opportunity. He does get a spot on the second, too. After getting that kill, he's able to back away, and Manx finds Marky on the lurk in towards apartments. A deep push from Manx, but that's a big frag from the in-game leader. He's starting to heat up here, which is even scary of a proposition, but here comes Cynic. There's another one on the round. Flashing into CT with an op. This is madness. Cynic, the spray for Swisher gets 2. Cynic, the last one there. Malbs will trade, and the defuse comes in again. Cynic doing all the work this time, but these Nouns kills are coming in individual bunches with nothing to support them.
It feels like Cynic is really going out on his lonesome there. There are points where he can be punished in an easy 1 versus 1 duel. He's crossing from Tetris all the way to default with his op, hoping to be given a kill. The issue is M80 know how much space they have, and they know how to play together. Cynic trying to be the spearhead for his team, but in the end, they're just a little bit too disjointed, a little bit too delayed. Sure, they got the bomb plant. Sure, they got some kills, but they can't get across the line. It's going to be rifles for both teams yet again. No big green, though, for Cynic. Could prove to be a difficult situation in round number 9.
Nice backstab there from CJ onto Malbs. Reck going down in a heap as well. Wolfy forced out of jungle with the Molotov going down. Bomb still in T-spawn, though, for now, and that could pose a problem. especially if some kills go back the other way very quickly. Wolfy's op shot's not going to connect through that smoke. Swisher, however, spots out a pair, and he's done them both in. 3v3. Level footing, and Swish is still on the prowl. Wolfy in towards CT spawn. Manx over towards jungle. Could go through rat hole. Elects to go the CT route. All three M80 players going towards CT. Will there be a sight flash from Swisher for the two CT players to go on through? Molotov into firebox. Where's the utility? Swisher, he's going to go and dry into rat hole. That's a risky call. In comes the flash now. Manx clearing the site. There is one around triple box. That's bwills. Smoke onto the bomb, but bwills catches him off. Wolfy can't connect the shot. Swisher, however, will. He's on for 3, looking for the 4th, but he runs out of ammunition. He gets caught on the stairs cross. It's up to Wolfy now. They know where the bomb is, and then now they know where he is. Brought it to a winnable 1v1. Never mind, there's no time. He might just be dead. Yeah, it's fine.
Barely.
Yeah.
Those were tight margins, but you know what? Bringing an op into the following is pretty important. These last couple of victories for M80 have been stringent. They have been down to the bone. They've not saved much in terms of economy. So any weapon brought in is a welcome addition to the arsenal going into round number 10. Up for Wolfy, of course, that was saved, as we mentioned. They are going to invest around it. MP9 for malbs, a Moss for Swisher, a second MP9 this time for reck, and Manx has a less than ideal rifle as well. Aggression from Nouns, though. They're getting confident. They know they can punish this A-side anchor, and they're going to go out ramp with a reckless abandon. They won't get a clean duel outright, but they'll now use their utility to parse apart the players on the site proper. Carson finds the first. bwills the supporting player. Second, Cynic, another. Leaves just Wolfy towards CT yet again to pick up the pieces. He'll find the first. He'll spot a second. He'll get some information from above, but that's all he'll get as Carson mows him away through the ticket box. Just Swisher. He's towards the stairs, but he has a Moss. Can he find more? It's a 1 versus 4. The first hurdle overpassed, but not the second. Markey finds the kill, and Nouns do secure a third at long last.
Third secured, and probably a 4th, unless they lose to pistols again. I don't think M80 are going to be investing too much into this one, though. I would be surprised if they get more than 2 upgraded pistols. Even that might be a stretch. And yeah, they're just going to go USPs, Manx on the P2000. Knew I liked the guy. Where's the stack? Stack towards Cat. Which is an interesting call. Maybe they're waiting for that ball to expire. Reck can swing out through bottom con. Yeah, that's the call. Kills for Carson. Make it 3. Looking for 4. And will he get the ace? Cynic steals it with a nade. Carson almost an ace there, but his former in-game leader, now primary opper, will make sure he doesn't get the 5K on his stats. Good anti-eco there from Nouns.
Good anti-eco, perhaps turning a corner as well. 4-7. Beginning to build that T-side economy. As I mentioned, beginning to build that confidence with that aggressive play out ramp. So now this is a very real opportunity. Well, M80. Malbs still compromised in investment, as is reck. Both on the Mosses. Lack of utility. No armor for Wolfy and no kit either. And Markey going to continue the rapid pace for Nouns. Pressuring out the window, but Manx is able to stymie any early aggression. Good kill from him on towards Markey.
There's a nice kill for reck now up towards ramp. He's going to get converged upon, though. bwills strikes in the back. Now we're into a 3v3. A-side open again. Wolfy going to have to deal with a deep Molotov. And now Manx can watch the CT cross through rat hole. In goes Manx, and down he goes. He gets a lot of damage onto bwills, but that's not going to be good enough here for M80. No utility on the retake. Glass cannon op for Wolfy. Flash goes in from the T side, not from the retakers. No kit means that smoke is not going to facilitate a ninja. It's going to have to be the fights. The gunplay is going to have to work out. And Swisher might just have to tap. They're so spread out, though, now. So player in towards CT, caught by Wolfy. One coming in con, one out ramp. It's the opposite. That's a great flick up. Now Wolfy has to do it all alone. Molotov under the bomb. He's already calling it quits. Getting out of dodge, and it's the right call. Save the op. Nouns with 5 now, really closing the gap here. And will they catch Wolfy on this long run of time? There's an opportunity! And there will be the capitalization. Good finish by Carson. No saved guns at all for M80. Now they can go for a half buy, but certainly a timeout going into the penultimate round of this first half.
Certainly, timeout. Certainly, right?
Not here in the anti-penultimate.
That's true. It's true. I misdid my numbers there. Pistols, though. We saw a deco coming in from Nouns earlier on in this half. Didn't have much success. I can't say I expect much either coming in from M80. Who knows? We could be surprised. Manx. Early in Palace Halls, caught by bwills. Less than ideal start for the Pistols, but could see a 1 dig or 2. We know what these players are capable of.
Would be nice to see a 1 dig or 2. Malbs is definitely the guy I have my eye on to deliver those. He's always been good with the deagle. Reck up close though. An opportunity for a couple. He gets one and half damage on the next, but he does only get one in the end. Swisher sprayed down by bwills. In comes Malbs now. What can he show us with a big deagle in his hand? A hand cannon. Nothing. Wait, no, never mind. It was Wolfy who went down first. Malbs gets an AK now. Not really winnable, but damage can definitely be had.
He's a smoke. He could throw that down and try to do something with it, given that he's stuck behind the pickup box. But he'll just take the duels instead. It works for the first, but that trick is stale for the second. Cynic wise to the sleight of hand. Finds the kill and continues the tear for Nouns. This is where he said the timeout would be useful. Going into this rifle buy. I did hear a tick in the chat, but I'm not seeing attack pause coming through.
It might have just been somebody saying something. You know how NA players are.
A bit of banter, as they say.
Yes. A healthy bit of banter. Oh, I like the catch jump here from Wolfy. Dodges the flashbang. CJ met with a round from the AWP. Good aggressive peek from Wolfy. Needs to be careful not to stick his neck out too far, though. Play with the man advantage. Manx is going to make it a double. That's a great start here for M80 as we get towards the tail end of this first half. And what will turn into a T side for M80. I would like to see at least 8 for M80, preferably 9 if they want to have a smooth chance at victory here. They've got Nouns boxed into mid. Good situation to be in for M80. Not so good for Nouns.
It's still doable, though. We've seen Nouns come back from the brink at least a couple of times. Utility is less than ideal for M80. They don't really have a lot of flashes or nades. They have a Molotov and a good amount of smokes for sure. But with Cynic up catwalk as he is and Carson rotating up towards B, this appears to be a potential B split, especially with that player in the power position of window. Cynic pressures on to find this opening. Off angle for Minx does not come through. It's the op to open it up. It's been spotted with the bomb. What is the response from M80?
Rex going down, and now Malbs falls to bwills. It's turned from a double man advantage into a disadvantage here for the CT side. Wolfy on the op, Swisher on the M4. Market and Cat the retake. Swisher. Smoke out. Wolfy holding for a peek. Nobody going to oblige. Molotov into the door. bwills ticking, burning. Will he peek into the big green gun? Swisher's calling it quits. There's no way he's going for this. Wolfy's out of this as well. Nouns will grab a 7. And there's no money for M80. That's why they have to save here. A chance for Nouns to win this T half. It was 6-1, Nate.
And now it's 7-6.
7-7.
I guess, yeah. Don't assume, okay? Could have a teleportation ninja. But a no-clip shenanigans.
No clip plus insta-diffuse, you know.
Yeah, the classics, as they call them.
Yeah.
They're the retake config, I think.
Yep, except you still have to have 5 seconds for that retake config.
That's
even
true.
The insta-diffuse.
It's true. 7-7, though. The winner of this round is the winner of the half, at least on paper. And I would say if Nouns can get an 8th, honestly, even 7 to 8 for them is a success. But 8-7 would definitely be a statement given the opening ceremony of this second map.
Yeah, it definitely would be. And it would be a great response to a struggling Nouns team, but Reck's flash allows Wolfy to get that kill even though he really wasn't in position for it. That's what teammates are for. That's what flashes are for. Good flash for the young Reck. Swisher up on catwalk looking to put somebody down. Nobody going to peek into him yet from Nouns, who are out towards middle. Malbs will make it 2. And now Swisher with a third man advantage. That only lasts for a moment in time. Swisher still fighting around towards bottom mid, though. And Cynic gets legged by Wolfy, who's now the last man standing out towards a ramp. Nouns don't really have a chance to get the bomb back because Manx is sitting on it like a hen on an egg. And Cynic is a one-shot here. He's running, making all the noise in the world. Manx shuts it down, 8-7 as we head into half number 2.
M80 started things off as dominant as they did on Anubis. They really began to stutter and stop and stall towards the end. They did stem the bleeding in that final round. The question is, can they rebuild their momentum heading into the second half? I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs, and M80, they're on the attack now. They're on the offensive. They look right at home with their aggression. The question is, can they outwit the likes of Nouns with their newly fledged IGL, Carson? It's an A split, a far more aggressive one than we saw in the first half from Nouns. Malbs has yet to really meet any resistance. Instead, it's Wolfy to be blindsided from the catwalk boost. Reck now in window. Going to be met with some resistance? Maybe not. I was going to say, it might pressure in, but Vent isn't popped, and so they'll avoid that area like the plague. Nouns instead going to focus on a CT retake. 4 players here, 1 in towards ladder room. M80, are they ready to rebuke this retake?
Malbs is a good position. Swisher does as well, but he needs to connect that first shot. In goes bwills. Manx goes down. Ninja time. Do we get 2? The knife is in. The knife is not going to connect until it's far too late. Oh, Swisher, you did it to them, and now they do it to you. He misses the knife by 1 swipe. Oh, that's unlucky. What a way for Nouns to get a tie ball game, though. That is basically returning a little bit of their own medicine to M80.
Yeah, and you know what's even funnier? It's their first pistol round in the series. Ninja defuse. And it's very similar to the round we saw in the first half, in that it was a 5 versus 4, albeit the other way around, heading into the retake. We knew it was going to be chaotic, so they might as well seize the day with that chaos and stick a ninja defuse amidst it. Very well done from Nouns to find that round. And M80, very much like their opponents, are going to force buy in response. But mixed results to start things off, as Manx is caught early on by the A1S of Carson, the IGL. It's been a rather even spread in terms of kills for Nouns, but Markey has yet to really make his mark in this second map. Swisher does tie things up. Reck actually doubles it down and swings things into the favor of M80, albeit briefly. Trades now coming in as things get a little bit chaotic. 2 versus 2. Reck down below spots 1, but doesn't get the kill. It's Markey instead to behead him. Leaves just malbs, a fiery player in his own right, in a 1 versus 2 with no utility, no bomb, and just the Galil in hand.
Yeah, you say just malbs, but I don't know if there's a scarier player to be up against in this situation if you are M80. Malbs! Messy spray on CJ, loses that fight, and Nouns have their first lead of this series, as a matter of fact.
It's only malbs, not just malbs, Boggs, okay? Don't put words in my mouth. Only malbs, but just the Galil and no bomb. Get into the semantics now.
True, true.
Ironically, the semantics aren't on Nouns.
No.
They're looking very comfortable on this map.
Yeah, I mean, it is Mirage, and they do know how to play this map very well. This is a team of puggers, after all, at least former puggers, and Markey and Carson. I'd even say Cynic and CJ in that as well. And bwills has always been solid on this map, so it's definitely a Nouns map in terms of comfort. Now they have that lead on the CT side. Pistols out for M80. Nice deagle from malbs, though, and maybe a bomb plant forthcoming here from the team side. Wolfy around the smoke. bwills does catch him. He takes a little bit more damage. Cynic with 1 more to add to the tally. Upgrade for Manx, P250 with a little bit of chip, but nothing further. Swisher on at M4, A1S, and only half his health. CT is Carson. Reck with 1 dig, 3v3, low HP on 2. Nouns getting into a bit of a scary position. Manx gets behind back to ramp because his teammates are dying on sight. I say that, but Rex managed a second, and he goes up over top for a third, jumping on the trash can. Cynic has no time. He's got to get to the bomb. M80 have tied it. They've surely done it. Manx buys the time. Rex got a dodge, and Nouns have just lost a heartbreaking round. It's the pistols again.
I'm not sure how that happens. A lot of luck, a lot of skill went into that round for M80. Lots of deagle kills. I want to say there was 2, maybe even 3 from the pistols. In addition to, it was Reck with 1. It was malbs to open it up. Okay, Reck had 2 on the pistol. I didn't know if Swisher found that one or not. I wasn't paying attention to the kill feed, but 2 on the deagle for him, a 3rd on the MP9, and 1 to open it up for malbs on the deagle as well. A lot of heavy lifting done by suboptimal weaponry. And that gives M80 a full buy here and now. Utility galore, 4 AKs the op, and an equally hodgepodge buy from Nouns, as they have an MP9, a FAMAS, an M4, and 2 pistols. There is a kit, there is utility, there is the possibility of a retake for Nouns if it comes to that, but this should be an M80 round through and through.
Keyword should. Now, will it be? Is a better question. We've seen what M80's been able to do to Nouns. Nouns has been able to return the favor somewhat on Mirage. Reck's nade should do a little bit of damage, but now he is revealed. Swisher's going to put down Carson. Reck's nade doing 0. Cynic now aware of the threat towards middle. That is Manx, who's actually made his way up in towards Con. Swisher taking the cat run instead. Slow and steady for M80. They're trying to bait now with these peaks and pushes. In comes one. Malbs and Reck with a couple kills. Makes one more. Reck does get traded out by CJ, who just bides his time. That's going to be one. Molotov will force CJ away. Bomb will go down, and CJ probably better served to save the M4 than to go for much. And look who's on the hunt for that kill. Swisher's already making his way towards T-spawn. Blindsiding CJ. Double digits gathered in first again by M80.
Albeit it's been a far more contentious affair in this map than the last. 10-9. I think was it 10-8 on the first map? I think it was. So it's not far more contentious, but it definitely looks and feels like there's a lot more up in the air in the second map. A lot more to be excited about if you're a Nouns fan. But this round is not one such moment. It's USPs across the board, not a dime invested for the defense. Excuse me. They might find one with a nice double dink, but even that's going to be an unlikely scenario.
I like how M80 are being cautious, though. They don't want to lose to the USPs. They're giving it its proper respect. As I say that, Reck very messily clears into CT spawn. Cynic gonna get some free taps on the side. Reck finds himself in a bit of an awkward spot, but he's able to bail himself out. No real support just yet. Now the cavalry has arrived. Cynic stuck on the stairwell, though. Spotted, and I don't know why Manx is shooting at his own teammate, but that was the thing that happened. Wolfy with the dualies. And M80 should be up to 11 here with minimal fuss.
Protect that rifle, don't drop it, don't lose anybody else either. I think there was a team dink right there onto Malbs. Just USPs though, bwills and Marky. I'm sure they're just trying to look for maybe a kill and more importantly that rifle. I'm not sure exactly where it's dropped. It looks like the front of the benches if it hasn't already been thrown out of the map. bwills towards T-spawn hoping to find an exiting player, but Wolfy is wise to that possibility. This is going to be an 11th for M80. And it should be a confident win with 4 players surviving to boot. I say that, but Wolfy is being pressured. This could be a spot for bwills to do some damage. His teammate has come behind as well to support. The duels yield nothing but a death for Marky. I like the idea, but nothing goes their way.
Nothing goes the way of Nouns, and I don't know if they're going to have an op here. It would be a glass cannon if they went for it. They will not. Rifles across the board. Utility, not the best, not the worst. It's about somewhere in the middle. M80. They do have the op for Wolfy. And a little bit of mid control. I think they're going for a run boost here or just the peak. I'd love to see a run boost. I love me run boosts.
Run boosts are cool. It looks like they're waiting for that Molotov instead. Might go for it eventually, but Manx is all the way up halls. Carson knows the possibility, but he hasn't gotten the kill. Instead, it's bwills to fall by Manx's hand. He will eventually get taken down by Cynic, a rotating player in towards Market, but that was a lot of map control taken. And in the meanwhile, Reck has slinked out towards A. He steps towards stairs, but neglects default, neglects CJ on site, and that will be his doing. It'll be a free kill for CJ, and an advantage now for Nouns. M80 just ping-ponging between the two sites. They will now group up towards B, but Carson is here. He's towards the arches. He's ready to sound the alarms if necessary. Molotov comes in. He's down below the window. He should be good for at least one in this spot, but time will tell him no, not even one. He does the damage, but not the kill. Malbs finds him instead. Even footing. Marky, though, a proactive flank could be the difference maker for Nouns in this round.
Well, it's going to be a tough hold for M80 with Malbs on 10 HP. This is almost entirely up to Swisher at this point. Tags going in towards Malbs. Swisher low as well, but there's one crisp headshot. Can he make it another 1v3 in this series? He's getting harassed by the nades. And CJ will finish the job. 10-second defuse. There is enough time. And Nouns will cut the gap to 1, but bomb plant plus already strong economy not going to keep M80 off of the buy. I feel like this one is going to get a little more messy here, Nate. It's going to continue. getting more and more ugly, more and more back and forth, more and more scrappy as we get into the later stages of this one.
Does feel like it. Realistically, Nouns still have a lot left to do. They've looked confident throughout this one. They've not looked lost. They've not looked dissuaded from going for audacious plays and individual showings of skill. It's a very different team from that first map. We could very well see Nuke as a result. M80 still a solid buy in this one. Good flash comes in, but it doesn't blind Marky Catwalk. He's been a quiet one in this second map. That is a very impactful opening to find onto the heavy swinger in Swisher.
It's a big one, but there still is malbs and reck waiting in the wings. Wolfy as well does have his op. I'd like to see that op get a little more involved here. It is the T side, so it is a little more difficult, but need to see some more impact coming from across the board on M80. Up con they go. Nice dink onto CJ. That does like 6 damage, but you guys heard the sound as well as I did.
It's through the box. It's a thick box.
That is a thick box.
Without the head armor, it only did, what, 6? That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it do that little before. That's usually at least like a 50 damage shot.
It's the plywood that was the issue. It's a very big stall from M80, but they do finally negotiate a way through the connector. Reck finds one to tie things up. The lineup does not work, or does it? Malbs finds one, and then his teammate, Wolfy and Malbs, though, continue to tear. Marky, he will not stop the bomb plant. He will fall after finding just one. It's a scrappy one. It could have gone either way to the very end, but it does go the way of M80 in the end. 12-10. 4 rounds separating them from a victory, and the issue is Nouns trading rounds back and forth. They cannot find an economic footing. They're basically at a half by this stage. Even a full save is probably the appropriate call, and this is where things can really unwind for this defense. Save here, and in my opinion, call a timeout going into the next rifle round. Get Sempis on the line. Figure out a good call for a defensive setup. That could very well give them a second window required to take their map pick.
Yeah, getting Sempis on the horn would do nothing. Would not hurt. Wolfy now can go up to 16 kills with that opener. M80 are being wise about this round. They're not pushing into a site. They're holding the commonly pushed angles. They're making sure Nouns don't push in and catch them off guard. Minimize risk. That's the name of the game here for M80. Do their job properly. Get it done clean. Get to 13. Worry about the guns next round. Smokes in towards A, though. M80 finally making a decision. Cynic has that deagle in hand. Going to peek on out. And Carson harassing Swisher out towards top middle. But he's going to get caught by Manx, who will not be able to get out of that one, though. Cynic comes through, and now it's just Cynic and bwills. Bwills in a long flank all the way through T-Apps. Might just blindside Swisher out towards top mid. Does the very same. Just grab the guns and save now. There's
one down bottom mid, there's one top mid. Yeah, get them both.
Yeah.
It's the right call for sure. Gives them some extra firepower going into that tack pause timeout that we're prophesizing. It's just the right call. Cynic, though, wants to do as much damage as possible. Scorched Earth policy. He has drawn Wolfy back at least a little bit. Surely no chance in this one for him to find anything lasting. Reck finds the kill. bwills is already headed for the hills. He's in towards the window, if I'm not mistaken. Towards the ladder, excuse me. 13-10 secured, and that life would have been far better served grabbing a rifle bottom mid.
Oh yeah, 100%. That extra gun, the extra AK in particular, helps out so much on the CT side.
What does this buy?
It's a buy. It's not great, but it's a buy.
Talking about the Pro 90
kit. Wait, I was looking at Nouns. I wasn't looking at Manx. What in tarnation? Is he gonna B rush the P90? He's B rushing with a P90, Nate. This is 2015. Get right.
It's an informed call, is what I'll call it.
It's something.
He's in.
It's something
He's
I
in.
never thought I'd see.
No. He got 0 damage done. Spray got away from him. Bucked wild, yeah. It's chaos now on B as they try to get in. Lots of flames licking at people's heels, but Reck is the one to find a double. A third, not quite, but the damage has been done to Cynic. Will survive for the time being. 2 versus 3 for Malbs and Wolfy. The issue is Wolfy has an option. He's beheaded as well. Malbs dinked down to 8 in a 1 versus 3. He is surgical with his shot. Can he find a 1 versus 3? The answer is simply no. He'll do a bit of damage onto bwills, but he won't get the kill. Nouns secure an 11th, and now I am truly left scratching my head. Why was there a pro 90? What was was it a misbuy? It must have been a misbuy. That's my only explanation for that kind of investment.
If you alter your entire strategy off of a misbuy, though,
I like the change of pace, but the execution left me wanting.
Yeah. There should have been a second guy with it, too. It should not have been Manx alone and then his teammates sitting back as they got stuck on a connecting flight and couldn't make it. That was such a delayed take to the site. It was just, Manx go kill people. I guess his call was, I go kill, you guys do whatever. He needs a friend. Buddy system. It's there for a reason.
Still 5 versus 5, but Malbs is low, and no connector alone. Timing very good with his favor. Reck, though, ensures that opening is anything but that. Even footing 4 versus 4. Manx walking in towards Palace is expected. He does live to tell the tale. It's a very important caveat. 4 versus 4. Smoke down top connector for a potential cat press. M80 have made a decision. It's going to be a B play. Good rotation from Nouns. The question is, can these two buy enough time for a full-on retake? Carson's towards the bench. His teammate's backside as well. Marky actually is back in towards Market instead. Paranoid about that window flank. M80 as well, just stalling for time, just holding their angles and not actually pressing out as of yet.
Yeah, that flank from bwills is going to be an issue for M80. If they're not aware of it, if they even get to the site, because this is well calmed by Nouns, they know exactly what to expect. Site control taken, bench player strikes. That's Carson. Marky still in Market. Carson doubles up. Marky can get the freebie. M80 cannot hit a shot right now. It's definitely time for them once they get buys up. Wolfy, there's no way he's getting out of more than 1. Not even the 1. Marky finds him around empty pillar. We're almost tied up here. We probably should be tied up. This is going to be Glocks for M80. And it needs to be a timeout situation for them in round 27. This is getting very awkward. And M80 are making their lives difficult on that B site.
Yeah, I get stalling every once in a while to kind of make Nouns uncomfortable, but all the stalls we've seen from M80 have been rather transparent. They go for an execute on one site, just wait for a minute, pile up, and then go again. It doesn't really work. I think it did work the first time off of individual aim alone. In terms of actual strategy, it's not really causing Nouns to rotate or outthink themselves. This round, I was going to say don't expect too much, but in the chaos, a lot of damage has been done. Cynic has been unseated. Marky and bwills will shore up the defenses with 1 kill apiece. Carson as well chiming in with a nade. Things looked interesting there for a very brief moment. Marky finds 1, bwills the final. Only player going down is Cynic, and his op is recovered as well. CJ, though, does leave a rifle on the ground. So at least there's that little bit of damage in favor of M80, but you're right. We need to see a timeout here in round number 27.
Yep, there it is. It's a good call by M80. A necessary call by M80. Haven't seen them need to really call the timeouts all too often, which it's a good thing for M80, but also hasn't given us a good idea of what Def is capable of as a coach, which I've always been a fan of him as a player, especially back in his old Complexity days. But it's good to see him as a coach now and doing stuff back in the NA scene. What's the call here? He is new to the role.
I say suited to the role. I think this is really an area where he can strategize. I think in the war room, he is very well placed. Investments coming through. Swisher going for body armor, no head armor. It's a very niche call. that reads into ops and AKs being prevalent, and it's a call that does indeed make sense. There's only 2 M4s on the side of Nouns. It does give them a little bit of extra utility required. Big control being taken. What's this new look from M80? Aggression towards the turn. It does work out in the other going. Swisher baits one in for Reck. bwills finally finds some inroads, but Reck ensures the short-lived victory. Marky in window tries to be the hero, but again, it's just 1 for 1. Instantly traded by Reck. Monster this round, leaving just CJ alone towards connector. He is not alone for long because he is sent to the Shadow Realm by the likes of Manx. 14 secured for M80. That timeout worth its weight in gold. Nouns, been waiting so long to see a timeout from you guys. When is it going to come through? Is it going to come through?
Well, there's a timeout.
It's a technical pause for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely
just not the right kind of timeout you were looking for. Or I was looking for, because I'm in the same boat. I think Nouns need to call it tech here, or attack, not a tech. But there is a technical. Jeez. Tack.
Close.
Tech. Yeah.
Gotta come up with a new word. Gotta come up with a new word.
Yeah.
Tactical. I think tactical is too tactical to lose. What is the new word we use for technical? I don't know. I'm for replacing technical. That's all I'm gonna say.
I am also for replacing technical. Just what do we replace it with?
I don't know. We need some ideas, guys, in the chat.
Yeah.
Give us some words. We'll throw them out there, and we will take credit for them. We will take credit. Full disclosure. It looks like the technical pause, name change pending, has concluded. We are back into the action. We do have the op for Wolfy. We do have the op for Carson. A double op for Carson and Cynic. Okay. A new look. Marky is making some concessions, as is CJ, with a Deagle and a FAMAS. No kid either. Okay, this is a lot of holes. This is going to be a very, very win-heavy or lose-heavy round for now.
Yeah, it's all offensive firepower. Nouns are foregoing the defense. It's not a very balanced buy. They've already lost one of those rifles. bwills shut down. The double op can catch M80 off guard if it even gets an opportunity to strike, but if it doesn't, then all that investment just goes down the drain, spiraling away. Nouns, you've gambled heavily. How do the cards lie? Look at that push. Look at the push from CJ, but it doesn't matter. Cynic's off, doesn't even get to fire a shot.
Very unfortunate loss, top connector. Mentioned press, but Carson in towards CT, misses the shot, and both pieces of that double op mean nothing. CJ in a ramp store, maybe an unexpected position, but given that he is the A anchor, he is expected. Taken down without any sort of fight being offered. Marky's the last, and he's also the player with the disappointing weapon. He's the player with the Deagle. And while he'll try to save, he probably won't be allowed to do so, and even then, what would a Deagle do going up against 15?
The Deagle would probably not do much. Maybe that, but probably not much further. Nade strike to take him out. 15-13 match point for M80. And it's just about US Open time, Nate, so match point very appropriate right now. Now the thing is, can Nouns bring this to deuce? It's double match point.
You play with ad as well.
I mean, definitely heavy advantage to M80 on the buy, but even more so now.
It's an uphill battle, to say the least. Nouns facing off against what at this point would be a move down to the lower bracket. They're going to try their hardest to defend the A site, but only offering up bits of damage, not outright kills. 2 versus 5 for bwills and Carson. While the Deagle will fire repeatedly, it won't find the kill. Instead, Nade shall, and it's only a short-lived victory as Mobs quickly trades. bwills 1 versus 4. He has been the heavy hitter for Nouns, but no kit. Now no smoke to masquerade the defuse either, and Wolfy posted with the op. Not long for this world. In fact, only a few seconds left for him. 16-13 from the likes of M80 on the second map to cap it off in a clean 2-0 fashion. Again, to recap, 16-8 on Anubis, their own map pick, 16-13 on Mirage, Nouns map pick, and that sees M80 through to the upper bracket finals.